Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dahlia Society. I have my first official Me Made for 2024 and I wanted to jump on here and show you this. I know I haven't shown all my makes from 2023 yet, and I have promised that it's going to be a big episode. It is coming. I've actually got everything on my rail in my bedroom that I've made, and it's so much I can't fit it all on one running rail. It's ridiculous how much I've made. So I think I'm going to split that episode up into three different episodes. So that is coming, I promise you. I haven't started filming that as yet, but it will be definitely coming very shortly. But I just wanted to make a new make for the start of 2024, and this is a dress that's been on my radar. I actually had planned on making this for Christmas and never got around to it, but I'm sure you'll all agree that it's a crazy time of year. We do tend to push ourselves a lot to get things done by a deadline, so I just took one of those things away to ease off some of the pressure. Because really, sewing should be for pleasure, shouldn't have a lot of pressure involved with it, because I tend to find that I've spoken before about planning and how much it takes and just sucks the creativity out of me. I really love to make things as I feel the need for it, or as I get inspired by a piece of fabric. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Write to me, are you a planner, or do you prefer to just make things on a whim? Or what gives you the creativity to sew? Is it a pattern? Is it the fabric? Or is it both? And if you're new to the channel, welcome. This channel is all about sewing your own wardrobe. I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have watched my videos in the previous 4 years. It means the world to me. I've got to know so many wonderful viewers over the years. I made a lot of friends. It's been a wonderful community to be part of. So if you enjoy this video, a thumbs up would also be appreciated. So let's get on to the make. First make of the year is a beautiful dress. It's very summery because it's really warm here, very, very muggy, and this fabric is just perfect for it. I made a few changes. Now, you may have heard of the Seasons of East pattern label, of course, from the UK, and the lovely Carol and I have been talking for quite some time now, and I saw this new release dress, this new release pattern of theirs, and I knew that you guys would love it too. A lot of people have made the beautiful Seasons of East Summer in New York dress, and that is a beautiful dress that was first highlighted to me by the lovely Adele from Sew for Serenity over in the UK. She made a gorgeous version of the Lady McElroy Dip in the Lake. I'll put a pic up to remind you of that one. Beautiful dress on her. Since then, I've seen quite a few more people make it. I've just seen in the last week the beautiful Deb from DB Designs here in Australia has purchased some gorgeous magenta cobra corsage fabric from our shop, the Dahlia Society, and she's made another beautiful version of that dress. It's her second one, so she actually absolutely loves the pattern as well. So I haven't made the Seasons of East Summer in New York, but I have made the Autumn in New York dress, which is the new release version. Now, I've made a few adjustments. I've actually taken the frill. There was a feature frill on the go days. There are 2 go days on the side of the dress. The pattern itself, I would say, is quite neat fitting. I would definitely recommend you to make a toile up first. I actually didn't make a toile. I really probably should have, but I tended to get another pattern that I worked with quite a bit and looked at the bodice and thought I need to increase it. I was planning on making the 14 around the shoulders, 16 around the bust, 18 around the middle section, because from the hip down it flares out because of the 2 go day pieces on the side. And when I was sewing it up, I looked and I thought the bust looks quite neat. Now for me, I have got smaller shoulders, slightly sloping shoulders, so I always need to make a slightly smaller version of the pattern for the shoulder section. So I normally always do a size 14 around the shoulders, and then I went to the 16 across the bust. I should have made an 18 around the bust, 20 around the waist, I would think. It fits me fine. It's not too tight. It's bordering on being firm around the bust. So I would suggest, if you are more than a C cup in sewing, I would look at doing a full bust adjustment, because there are no darts. It is quite neat fitting. There's not a lot of ease around that bust area. Same with the waist, but where the waist is, it tends to flare out with those go days, so it gives you quite a lot of ease through the hip region. So don't worry too much about the hips. It's the bust and the waist that you need to look at. Now, under the arms, of course, I had looked at a couple of reviews, and people had different things to say. One vlogger had said that she found it really big and gaping under the arm, so I was concerned about that. But for me, it wasn't gaping at all. It's a cut under the sleeve where there's no binding. So you need to make sure you fold over under the arms and do a top stitch. But when you've got the frill, it tends to kind of it tends to fall quite nicely. This is a linen Chloe chambray from Lady McElroy that we do still have in the store. It's the Circles of the Orient, beautiful print. And I think the thing I love about the dress is it showcases a beautiful placement print really nicely because you don't have any seam lines through the front or any waist seam lines. So really perfect pattern for showing off a great print. The more drapey the fabric, the more drape you're going to have on the sleeve. Next time I make this, because there will be a next time, I really love the pattern, I would definitely size up around the bust. I would also maybe lengthen or widen the shoulder frills. And I think that if you made it with a more drapey fabric, you could get a more floaty feel to it, because the linen does have a little bit of structure, but it's got a softness with the viscose blend through it. So with the neckline, of course, it's slightly kind of a boat neck style, I would say. So quite a simple make. I had it made up really, really quickly, and without having the frills up the go days, it made for a very, very fast sew. Now, if you're going to put the frill where the go day is, you're going to have to do quite a bit of gathering, and also things like techniques like sandwiching in two pieces of fabric with the frill in between, and that kind of thing. There's a bit of technique involved there, so that's something that may need a bit of practice for your beginner sewers. But if you've done that type of thing before, you won't have a problem. I just found with a busy print, busy fabric like this, I omitted the frills, and I'm really happy with how it came up. Another thing I noticed with the pattern, it didn't have very clear instructions about what length to make it. Now, it had quite a short version on the paper pattern piece, and it just said lengthen, shorten is at the hemline, so you can make it as long or as short as you wish. Now, I wanted it to look like the paper pattern envelope, and that was quite a bit longer. It was more like an ankle length. This one I added 10 centimeters to the pattern, and I still didn't quite get the length I was after. I would have liked a little bit more clear instruction for the length that it was pictured with on the pattern envelope. So I would say, I'm 5'6.5". I would say if you want it to be more of a midi length, I would add a good 20 centimeters to the length. But when you do that, you've got to remember to add the length to the go day pieces as well. So that can get a little bit confusing, because if you're adding length to the go day pieces where the curve is, you've got to make sure you add lengthen and shorten to the right spot. So if you lengthen and shorten at the hem, it's going to increase your curve, and you don't want that necessarily. So you've got to look at the lengthen and shorten lines. The go day, of course, will be in the center of the pattern piece, and the hem is the lengthen and shorten line for the front and back of the dress. So that's one thing to watch, make sure that it actually lines up. And I think my go days were slightly longer. But in saying that, I really quite like the look of it. It gave it a handkerchief hem style look. So I'm a little bit disappointed that I evened off the hem, because I think I like that handkerchief hem style look with the go day pieces being a little bit longer. It gave it like an asymmetric hemline. I wish I had have left it to show you guys now, but I didn't. I thought I'll make it as per the pattern. So definitely next time I make it, I would lengthen it. I would lengthen it more than 10 centimeters for 5'6" height. I would increase my bust. I would definitely make a size 18 around the bust, 20 around the waist. Now, I am ready to wear Australian sizes, about a 14 to 16, depending on the make. Most Pattern Emporium patterns, I'm 14 to 16, but this pattern company, I would say, is quite a lot neater fitting. So definitely look at your ease, look at your finish pattern measurements, that always works for me. And also it's in inches as well. So if you're not used to that, you got to convert the centimeters over to inches. But I really like the kind of 1920s vibe it gives. This really lovely shape, the lovely details in the godays and the frill, I think makes for a really different style dress. And I am desperate now to make the Seasons of East summer in New York dress. I think the thing with these patterns, this pattern company Seasons of East, they are really nailing it with the whole aesthetic and the classy look. It really does justice to a beautiful dress, and the kind of dress that you can dress up or down depending on what the event is and what your shoes are that you're wearing as well really makes a huge difference. But it's the simplicity I love about this dress. Even though it's got these little delicate details, I love the fact that it's quite a simple pattern and that you can throw it together quite easily and get yourself a beautiful dress. Now the fabric, of course, I'm in love with all of the Lady McElroy Chloe chambres. They are all divine, beautiful to wear. They wash really nicely as well. I love the kind of floral circle, almost like a polka dot print. It's just gorgeous to wear. But yeah, definitely think about if you're finding you're more on the bustier side, I would definitely look at doing an FBA just to get a little bit more room, because yeah, as I say, there's no darts there, so there's not a lot of extra ease there. But definitely don't worry too much about the hip region down. You'll find that it's got plenty of room. It's just the bust and across the chest from shoulder to shoulder, and the waist that I would be looking at, making sure you get the right fit. Definitely another wonderful pattern from the ladies at Seasons of East Patterns. We do have these patterns in store as well as the fabric here at the Dahlia Society, so head on over to the website and you'll see that listed on the website or linked in the description box below too. So off to plan making my Seasons of East summer in New York dress. I think that a nice simple deep ink navy would be stunning in that dress. I would love a nice bold coloured dress, and I think that one for me would be beautiful in a deep navy colour, so maybe to complement this one. Thanks for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini review on my first make for 2024. I'd love to also hear what you're sewing for your wardrobe. Let me know in the comments below. Take care everyone and have a wonderful sewing week. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.